If you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, but the patch notes were just released. And here we go. Seasons 2.0, new gears, new weapons, new talents, and balancing. Oh, here we go. So the patch notes, it says the size will be 97 gigs for the PTS on Ubisoft Connect and 18 gigs if you already have the PTS preloaded. You can preload the PTS, and it will start at 7 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, and it will end 7 a.m. Eastern on Monday. Okay? This is going to be a lot, okay, people? This is going to be a lot, so I hope you're sitting down. Here's Seasons 2.0. We have the seasonal journey, the seasonal modifiers, the priority objectives, the manhunt scouts, new gear, new brand sets, new gear sets, new named items, new exotics, another new exotic, more named weapons, and then reworks. Reworks. Okay? Now, it says it was added 3 minutes ago, and okay. So there are going to be some reworks as well to Sledgehammer and the Mosquito. All right, now let's scroll back up here because there is no balancing on here. They said that they would also have a balancing patch notes. Stand by. Let me just refresh this because this is brand new. So let's see if there's anything else added right now. There is. There is. Balancing right here. Oh, man. If it's in green, it's a buff. And if it's in red, it's a nerf. Oh, man. This is the patch notes we wanted to see. Look how long it is. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, no, people. Oh, no. Oh. Look at all of this. Kinetic momentum, gunslinger, entrench, obliterate nerf. Oh my gosh. Picaro's nerf. Oh my gosh. Remember, all the red are nerfs, all the greens are buffs. Holy crap. All of these are buffs. These are all buffs. Where's red? Red is, oh my gosh, dude. Pistols, shotguns, marksman rifles, and more. Yo, this is crazy right now. All right. Which one do I start with? Do I start with the balancing patch notes or do I start with the actual PTS patch notes? Holy crap. All right. Let me start with the balancing patch notes because let's see what they're changing to the game first, and then we'll go into what's all new, okay? Because this is a lot. I really hope you're ready for a long one because there is a lot of things changing, and all of this we get to test tomorrow. This is so crazy. We are testing all of this tomorrow. If you are just now joining me, welcome to the live stream. If you're catching this on the VOD later, hit the like, subscribe, you know the whole thing. We're going to be talking about this balancing first. This is huge. I'm not kidding. I was trying to warn you about this. All right, here we go. Balancing. With the introduction of Seasons 2.0, which brings new features like modifiers, scouts, priority objectives, and the seasonal journey, we've taken a fresh approach to balancing, aiming to give different playstyles for distinct personalities. This update will address a wide range of elements, including various weapon categories, exotic weapons and gear, weapon mods, talents, and gear sets. Do you hear that? They are changing weapon categories. They are changing exotics, both weapons and gear. They are changing weapon mods. They are changing weapon talents and gear talents, as well as gear sets. This is, all right, here we go. I hope you're ready. Weapons. The core stats selection in the inventory preview of a weapon has been updated to also showcase headshot damage and optimal range. The reload stat In the weapon handling section of the inventory preview of a weapon has been updated as well to show 2 decimal points. Okay, so let's just start with ARs, okay? Let's, here we go. Make it a little bit bigger. All right, so these are the changes to assault rifles. And this we get to test tomorrow, okay? So it says right here, and this is going to be all of the final stuff on the right. Now, yes, it can change during the PTS, but this is what they are preparing it to change to. So the ACR looks like it will have a little bit faster of a reload, a little bit better optimal range, but then overall nerf of 1,000 damage. Really not that bad. AKM, a little barely nerf to the damage and to the optimal range. Same with the AKM variant. The AUG is getting a buff, as well as the Carbine 7 and the F2000. However, look at this. The F2000 is getting a RPM decrease. They nerfed the RPM buff that they gave it during Project Resolve. So the F2000 and the Shield Splinter has now been lowered. Oh, man. But the overall damage was increased. Interesting. But they lowered the magazine size again. What? Yo, that's crazy. All the buffs to the Shield Splinter and the F2000 have now been reverted for a little bit more base damage. I'm not feeling that at all. FAL, overall nerf, but an increase to rate of fire. Oh, and reload speed and optimal range. Interesting. The FAL, okay. The FAMAS is getting a little buff, but then a nerf to the reload and optimal range, as well as the G36 is getting a nerf to the rate of fire. What? The Honey Badger is getting 10 more RPM and a little bit more damage. Okay, the Honey Badger. Oh, and a decrease to the mag size. Dang. The M4 is getting a overall buff. The PDR, overall buff. The P416 is getting a RPM buff, but a little bit of a damage nerf. I mean, that's worth it right there. The Scar, a little bit. No, that's not that great. SIG, again. The CTAR, what's this? Lowering the mag size to the CTAR. That sucks. And then the TKB is getting a buff, but then a decrease to the RPM. Yo, the Kingbreaker just got a nerf. All right, so the Kingbreaker is getting a nerf. Oh my gosh, dude. So the Honey Badger, so the Savage Wolverine just got a little bit of a buff. The FAMAS, a little bit of a buff. The F2000 was reverted back, so the Shield Splinter was also reverted back. That sucks. The Carbine 7 overall buff. That's looking good. All right, this was just the ARs, okay? Next, we have the SMGs, and look at all the red. Remember, the red is nerfs. The green are buffs. Overall, let's see here. The AUG buff, or nerf overall. The Banshee, nerf overall. The MP5, a buff, but then a mag size decrease. Yo, these mag size decreases suck. I don't like having low mag sizes. The MP7 just got a huge nerf. Okay. The MPX, another nerf. The P90 got a buff to the RPM. Holy crap, 1100. Okay. The PP19 got a overall buff. That's huge. What is that, 4,000? That's almost a 10. Wow. Okay. Like a 7 to 8% buff overall for the PP19. The T821 overall buff. Vectors. Here we go. Vector 45 nerf. The Vector 45 has just been nerfed. It has now a longer reload speed and a lower total damage. So the Vector 45 has now been nerfed. The Vector 9 mil got a buff, but then a huge nerf to the reload speed. And then the Vector Tactical, another nerf, but then a buff to the reload speed. Interesting. Okay, so those were the SMGs. LMGs. Here we go. LMG changes. We'll start at the bottom. L86, nerf. Nerf to the reload, nerf to the optimal range, and nerf to the base damage. By a lot. 10k, holy moly. The RPK got a nerf to the RPM and a nerf to the mag size and a nerf to the reload speed. Bruh. But then a little bit more damage. That's not going to cut it for the RPK. Next up, we have the Negev. The Negev just got another nerf to the rate of fire. So it went from 900 to 850 to 750. Oof, that sucks. The M60 got another nerf, but then an increase, okay, to rate of fire, rate of fire. The M249 got a rate of fire. Whoa. That's a huge rate of fire increase. The M249 went from a 550 RPM to an 850 with an increase to reload? I mean, a huge damage nerf, but still. Wow, okay. The Stoner LAMG got a overall buff. The MG5 got an overall buff. The other MG5, the infantry and the normal. And then the GR9 got an overall buff. Okay. Next up, we have rifles. Now, it says right here that the 1886 and any weapon based on it no longer deal reduced damage to arms and legs. What? Okay. I did not even know that was a thing for the rifles. All right, so here we go. Rifle changes. Let's see, big ones here. Hold on. What? The AKM's a rifle? I didn't know the AKM was a rifle. Okay. Let's see here. So the 1886 got a buff. The USC nerf. The SIG, normal SIG nerf, but then the SIG CQB got a buff. A lot of these got nerfed. Holy crap. The M1A got a buff. Wow. So all of these are nerfs, and then the M1A buff, M16 buff, UIC buff, and then the AKM. I'm not... The AKM under rifle? I don't remember the AKM being a rifle. Marksman rifles. All right, remember, green are buffs, red are nerfs. 308, SVD, SRS, all nerfed. Holy crap, dude. The SRS got a huge nerf. Ouch. And the SR1 got a huge nerf. Ouch. The G28 buff, M700, and Model 700 both got hit with a nerf. Holy moly. While the M44 across the board got a buff. Interesting. Going down to shotguns. Let's see here. Shotguns, they gave the M870 a buff. They gave the KSG a huge buff. Holy moly. That's a huge buff to the KSG shotgun. The 612 got a huge nerf. The ACS got a buff. The SPAS got a buff. Super 90 got a nerf. The SASG got a nerf. The sawed-off got a buff. And the double barrel got a buff. Next up, we have pistols. Oh my gosh, across the board, all of them got buffed. Holy moly, except for the D50. The D50 got nerfed. Wow. Okay, I'm not even going to pull those up. Now it says weapon mod changes. They increased the extended round for the 45 ACP. They extended the stability for the 45. All of these weapon attachments have gotten buffed. The light extended got a buff. All of them got buffs. Yo, this is crazy. The 9mm mag got a buff. All of these. Yo. All of these weapon mods. These have all gotten buffs. Crit damage is now 10% instead of 5. Stability is now 30 instead of 10. Optimal range is now 50 instead of 10. What is this? Crit damage is now 10% instead of 5. All of these. Crit damage is 10% instead of 5. We're going to be hitting harder. We're going to be hitting further. Wow. Okay. Optics. Oop, hold on. The small RDS got a nerf. Oh, from accuracy. Okay. Oh, but that's just the way that that talent is. Okay, or that mod. All of these have gotten buffs. The reflex sight went from a 5% weapon handling to 12. That's huge. Weapon handling? That's huge. Okay, keep going. Under barrel, reload speed got increased, crit damage increased, all of these. Okay. Talents. Here we go. Talent changes. Entrench. Perfect entrench. If you are below 30 armor, headshots from cover will repair 30% of your armor, and the cooldown will now be 1 second instead of 2. Gunslinger, let's see here, 23%. Okay, so Gunslinger got a 3% buff. Kinetic Momentum got a 0.5% buff per stack. Yo, that's a 15% overall, right? That's big. Kinetic Momentum is now hitting harder than Glass Cannon overall. Kinetic Momentum's going to be the new thing, unless they have a thing to Glass Cannon here. Obliterate got a nerf. Obliterate got a nerf from 25 stacks to 17. So what is that? That's what, 8%. Obliterate got an 8% nerf. Overwatch now has a, let's see here. Boop, 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 boo. So it's just a 2% increase to, okay, I see. A little 2%, not bad. For Spark, it got a 3% increase, not bad. For Safeguard, 30% increase. Yo, Safeguard healers. If you are a healer out there and you like Safeguard, you're really going to like Safeguard now. You just got a huge buff. Yo, the Hollow Man just got a buff. I'm sick. I'm weak. I don't know what to call it. Oh, the Hollow Man just got a buff from 10% health damage to 14 all day, dude. All day. Let's see what else here. Firm handshakes went to 16% from 15. What? Why? Why would you even 1%? Okay. Picaro's got a nerf, bro. Oh, bruh. The Picaro's got a nerf. You see this? Yo, if you see this, let me know. The Picaro's. If you see this, let me know. The Picaro's just got a nerf. Wow, dude. Wow. This is ridiculous. Next up, we have the Claws Out. The Claws Out got a 2% buff. Okay. Let's keep it going. Perfectly Accurate. That's on the Rail Splitter. That just got a buff of 30%. Okay. I didn't think it needed any more accuracy. It already does. Perfect Allegro just got a huge buff. That's on the Invisible Hand. Perfect Allegro, huge buff. Breadbasket here, 20% buff. Breadbasket. Eyeless got a 10% buff. Fast Hands got a 1%, 3% overall nerf. Killer got a 20%, no, 30. What? Killer. The Killer talent just got a huge, huge buff from 40 to 70, and then Perfect Killer from 50 to 90. Yo, Killer is ridiculous. What? Perfect Killer? What is that on? Isn't that Perfect Killer, Perfect Killer. That's the Dark Winter, right? What? The Dark Winter just got a huge buff. Holy moly. Ignited, 5% buff. Optimist got a buff. 0.5%, but overall, but that's big overall though, right? Because it goes 10%, 10 times. I mean, that's okay. Perfectly optimized, 10% buff. That's weapon handling. Okay. Perpetuation. Oof. That's a 25% buff on perpetuation. And that's status effects. Dang. This is huge, people. Yo, if you are just now seeing this, oh my gosh, please rewind to the top of the freaking patch notes. This is ridiculous. Ranger just got a buff every 3 meters. Oh, that's going to be nice. Reformation just got a buff of doubled. Reformation just got a 100% buff. That's crazy. Sadist, 10% buff. Thunderstrike, 10% buff. Vindictive. Let's see here. Vindictive. Before, it was 15 and 18. Now it's 16 and 21. All right, so Vindictive got a little bit of a buff. I haven't even gotten to the gear sets. Slow your roll. Measured. Measured got a buff of, what, a 5%? Ooh, and it's better. Oh, dude. The apartment. Yo, bring out the apartment. The apartment's going to be big, 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 big. On empty, the buff stream, basically. On empty is getting a buff of 100%, basically. It went from 30 to 60 and from 40 to 80. On empty, just got a huge buff. Outsider. Oh, perfect outsider just got a buff. That's crazy. Behind you, got a 5% buff. Brazen got a 0.5% buff per pellet. This is crazy. Perfect Jazz Hands got a buff of reload speed from 30 to 50. And Pumped Up got a buff from 1% to 1.2. But remember, that stacks up 25 times. So that's a big, big buff as well. What is this right now? Weapon updates. Yep. I think we've already talked about all of those. I think there's more sets of patch notes, people. This is just the talents part. There's way more than this. Hold on. There's more than this. I know there's more than this. Let's see. There's another freaking set of patch notes. There's another set of patch notes. Look at this. Balancing for gear, brand sets, exotics, exotic gear, and loot pool. We've got a whole nother category of patch notes, people. This might be the longest patch notes breakdown I will ever do. Holy crap. Look at this. We have the Seasons 2.0 and the PTS patch notes. We have the balancing for the weapons and talents, and now we have the balancing for the gear sets, brand sets, exotics, and exotic gear. Oh, man. Here we go. Hey, Frosty, if you don't like it, suck a dick. All right, here we go. All right, so balancing again. Green for buff, red for nerf. This is going to be crazy. I don't know if you guys are ready for this one. All right, gear sets. This one's the big one. This is the big one. All right, this is the big one. Here we go. Oh, right out the gate. Hardwired just got a huge buff. Hardwired just went from 10 seconds to 5. All right. So Hardwired just got a huge buff. That's going to be huge. Aegis, the Aegis gear set, just got a buff. All right. The Heartbreaker just got a buff. A 30% buff. So remember, Heartbreaker at full stacks was only 100% damage. Now it's 130% damage. Yeah, Christmas came early. Yeah, this is Division Christmas. Yes, it is. This is ridiculous. So Heartbreaker just got a buff of 30%. That's going to take on Striker right there. This is going to take on Striker. Mark my words. Aces and Eights got a buff. Let's see where it says the buff, though. After 5 cards are flipped, 30%. Oh, or Rifle. Rifles work with Aces and Eights now. So Aces and Eights just got a nice little change. It used to be just marksman rifles, and now it's rifles as well. This is going to be big. 130 for both? Hold on. No, no, no. Look, the 1% bonus armor, the 130 is for the damage. See? That's for the damage. No, the armor, you get 200% bonus armor. They don't care about the bonus armor. They care about the damage. So they're increasing that Heartbreaker damage to 30. That's 30% because you get 100 stacks where you get 200 stacks of bonus armor. All right? That's crazy. This is crazy. Breaking Point just got a buff from 4 to 7.2. What? Increases your weapon damage bonus. Oh, okay. So Breaking Point just got a nice buff. Negotiator's Dilemma. Negotiator's Dilemma just got a buff. 12% buff overall. So instead of 100% of your crit damage transferring over, it's going to be 112% of your crit damage carrying over. That's going to be a nice buff for negotiators. A little bit more of a oomph, if you will. That's nice. Okay, keep it going, keep it going. Ongoing Directive just got a buff. Yo. Amplified damage buff. Are you seeing that? That is huge. So Ongoing Directive just went from 35% amp to 50. That's a big, big change. Yo, you guys see right underneath? you guys see right underneath? Hey, chat. Chat. Ugh, I'm just going to stretch real quick and drink my coffee while you see what's underneath. Don't get pissed off at me. Don't get pissed off at me. Do you see what's underneath Ongoing Directive? I'm going to drink some coffee and let you go ahead and get pissed off. Yo, is that a striker nerf? Is that a striker nerf, chat? Is that a striker nerf? I think that's a striker nerf. Oh, that's a striker nerf. Ouch. Well, it looks like your striker stacks just went from 200 total to what's that? 170? Just got a 30% nerf. Because remember, going to 0.85, and if you're running the chess piece, you double that. And then look right underneath, chat. Do you see that? That's an Umbra buff. An Umbra buff. Now, notice here, okay? I will point this out. Notice here, the Ongoing Directive change is not for PvP, okay? Not for PvP, the Ongoing Directive change. The Striker change is for PvP. It is. PvP and PvE. Striker is getting a nerf. All right? However, look at Umbra. It says the changes won't affect PvP. So Umbra is getting a buff, but Umbra is getting a PvE only buff. Okay? So this is a buff, and it says that it is increasing the RPM by a whole nother 10. That's going to be amazing. The crit damage is going from 1 per stack to 1.2 per stack, and the RPM is going from 0.3 to 0.4 per stack. So that means instead of 100% crit hit damage, we're going to get 120% crit hit damage. And that means instead of 30% RPM, we're going to get 40% RPM. This is a huge buff for Umbra, but this is only for PvE. All right? When is all this going live? The PTS is tomorrow. You can preload the PTS right now, but we can test all of this tomorrow. All right? Now look right under this. Now we're going to start talking about brand sets and gear set changes. This is going to be big. These are some big changes. I hope you're sitting down. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Brand set changes. Let me just scroll a little bit. All right, here's the differences in the brand sets. Go ahead and look at that real quick. All right. So, hey Menace, don't go looking at other people's stuff and then coming over here and trying to spoil stuff. I'm going through the patch notes, brother. Just wait. Stop with the spoilers. I don't care if you're in DoD or not. I'll kick your ass out. All right, here we go. We are talking about brand sets. Alp Summit got a nerf to repair skills. China Light is getting a buff to status effects. Electrique is getting a nerf to status effects. Empress is getting a nerf to skill efficiency. So the Empress meta for skill builds is no more. Murakami is getting a nerf to skill duration and skill damage, but a buff to repair skills. Richter and Kaiser, a nerf to incoming repairs. Wyvern. Wyvern. That reminds me of that movie Coraline, where what's that kid's name? Wyborn. Wyborn? Short for why were you born? All right, so Wyvernware is getting a nerf to skill damage, a buff of 1.6%. That's not a buff. That's whatever. And then a buff to skill duration. 511. 511 is getting a buff to incoming repairs and hazard, as well as Bellstone getting an incoming repairs is getting a huge look at. We might be having an incoming repairs meta soon. And then Hana Yu 3-piece will give you more weapon damage. Moving down, exotic weapons. That's going to be a big one. More gear set changes. The Golan status will be nerfed. The Habsburg headshot will be nerfed, but the status will be buffed. The Lingmo will be nerfed in skill haste. Uzina Getica will get a buff in hazard. While y'all gear, let's go. So the y'all gear is getting a buff in weapon damage, and the Hollow Man mask got a buff in health damage. This is big for y'all gear. Oraldi is getting a nerf to headshot. Okay. Cheska. Oh, that's nasty. That's a nasty. I don't know why 3.5%, but why? Oh, man. They just nerfed Cheska, but increased the hazard. They nerfed Grupo by 2%. What even is this? What even is this? They nerfed the headshot by... Oh, this is countering the mods. Oh, I see what this is. All right. Remember. I was just talking about the weapon attachments. They were doubling all of the crit attachments, and they were doubling all of the weapon handling and all that other crap. Headshot. They doubled all of the weapon attachment mods. So this is why they're balancing this, because they doubled all of the mods. That's what this is. Okay. All right, I get it. It's not nerfs. I'll explain it. I'll explain it in a minute. But on the other sheet of patch notes, all of your weapon attachments are all getting buffed, and a lot of them are getting doubled or quadrupled. So what they did is they put all of the stats into your mods, and then they're just tweaking your set bonuses. but overall you're going to be way stronger. These are like stupid, like little, like look at this, 2% headshot nerf. I mean, 3.5 crit chance nerf. What is this? 1.66 status nerf. You're getting way more than that from your attachments. So don't get worried about that. All right. Next, exotic weapons. All right. I hope you guys are sitting down, okay? Because exotic weapons are getting buffed and nerfed. All right? I hope you're sitting down. Here we go. The bighorn. Oh, dude, you can already see St. Elmo's. I'm sorry, people. All right, the bighorn is getting a buff of 2% per stack, okay? That's per stack. So instead of 100% overall, it's going to be what? 100 and what is that? Boop ba-doop 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 boop boop boo. 150. Yo, that's a 50% buff. Oh, bighorn got a huge buff. Oh man, and the mods on it got a huge buff. See, this is what I mean. Like those little those little tweaks in the brand sets are nothing. The bighorn just got a huge buff. That's huge. Bighorn's big. Yo, look at the St. Elmo's. I'm sorry, chat. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, chat. Okay, don't. I can already feel the fire. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm burning. I'm sorry. Yes, the St. Elmo's is getting an overall nerf. Okay, it's getting a nerf. The optics give you less crit damage. The muzzle gives you less crit damage. The underbarrel gives you less weapon handling. And the magazine size is going to give you 10 less. I'm sorry, okay? All right? St. Elmo's, I'm sorry. Moving on down. The Eagle Bearer. You sly son of a bitch. Yo, the Eagle Bearer got a little bit of a buff to crit chance and a little bit of a buff to crit hit damage. Moving on, the Chameleon. The Chameleon. Here we go. So the Chameleon got a buff. So now you have to hit less. You have to hit 10 less body shots. So it used to be 75, now it's 65. And you have to hit 10 less leg shots. So this is a buff to 2 of the different parts of the Chameleon. You just have to shoot the enemy less and you get more out of it. How about that? Let's see. Boop-a-doo. Lady Death. The Lady Death got a buff to crit chance and a buff to crit hit damage. All right? Lady Death. This is what I meant by the brand sets and the gear sets being tweaked a little didn't matter because look at what they did to all of the mods. Yo, the Backfire just got a huge buff. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so the Backfire went from 1% crit per stack to 2. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, no. It did not. Oh, I see what they did. Oh, they just flipped it. Okay, so you'll be able to stack Backfire twice as fast. It's a buff, kind of. It's not a buff to your damage. It's a buff to how fast you get your damage. So what this is instead of 1 stack per bullet all the way up to 200, now it's 2 stacks to 100. So you're getting the same amount of damage, but you're getting it way faster. Way faster. Because now instead of 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way to 200, now it's 2 just to 100. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the Backfire just got a huge buff in a way, but it also crit chance buff and crit damage buff. All right, Chatterbox. The Chatterbox got a buff. Let's see here. Increases it by 25% from 20, so the rate of fire got buffed quite a bit. That's really strong because that was, what, 100 before? Yeah, that's really nice. So the Chatterbox got a good one, buff of crit damage and a buff of overall weapon damage. Yo, the Chatterbox. Okay. I'm going to have to remember that. The Chatterbox. Yo, that's crazy. Hey, we have 937 people in here right now. If you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up. I'm really sorry about this next part, but it's the Ouroboros. All right, here we go. There's only two things for the Ouroboros, and it's the only two things that freaking matter. They nerfed the Ouroboros' rate of fire, and they nerfed the Ouroboros' mag size. So the Ouroboros will have 10 less, and it's going to shoot a lot slower. So 10% slower. What was it before? Like 1,400 RPMs or something crazy? 1,600? So it's going to drop to what? Probably around the same as the Vector is what it's looking like. It's still going to be OP. It's still going to be on the same caliber as the Vector. But just remember, every time I ever... Yo, look at the Iron Lung. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking ahead, and I'm just like, oh, crap. The Iron Lung got hit too, people. Yo, we're getting hit with strays left and right, bro. Oh. Yo. Oh, man, I'm sorry. But anyways, the Ouroboros is on the same caliber as the Vector, so it's still going to be good, okay? So don't worry, the Ouroboros is still going to be nice, but Striker got a nerf, the St. Elmo's got a nerf, and the Ouroboros got a nerf. But that Dark Winter is twice as strong as it was. Like, that Dark Winter might be the next best thing now, just so you know. The Iron Lung. I'm sorry, people. The Iron Lung got a nerf of 10% weapon damage. So it's going to be a little bit lower. However, the crit chance and the crit damage both went up, but that's just because they're doing this with all of the weapon mods. I keep telling you, all of the weapon mods are going to be increased. Next up, we have the blue screen. The blue screen has an increase of reload speed and an increase of rate of fire. So the blue screen is going to be shooting a little bit quicker. Nice. The Bullet King has a buff of 10%. Nice. And more crit chance and more stability. Nice. Okay. That's nice. The Bullet King, 10% more weapon damage. I'm trying to think overall. I think the Bullet King was already hitting pretty hard. This is crazy right now. Okay, next we have the Ruthless or the Merciless, depending on if you had the pre-order or not. Yo. All right, so the increase to accuracy, increase to stability, and weapon handling. So it should be a laser beam now, right? Because they increased all of those, and weapon handling increases those again, so they doubled up on the increasing. Okay, so that rifle is going to be a freaking laser beam. The Vindicator. Yo, people, this is just the balancing part of the PTS. We haven't even talked about the new shit. All right? We haven't even talked about the new stuff yet. This is the craziest patch notes I have ever gone over in my life. We're, 45 minutes in, and we're just going through the balancing changes. Like, they were quiet for so long, and then just, wow, they just throw everything on us. This is crazy. All right, here we go. Vindicator. Got an weapon damage of, 20% to the highlighted area. That's a big buff for the Vindicator. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yo. Yo, can someone call up Sergeant Graybeard? Can someone call up my buddy Sergeant Graybeard at the Gaming Brigade? We need to see if he's doing okay. We need a wellness check. Yo, this one hurts. That hurts, people. Wow. Wow, dude. That one hurts. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Holy crap. Oh, what is that? 10 shots? How many's in the magazine? All right. Can someone answer how many's in the magazine for the Scorpio? Like, is this even logical at this point? What even is this? I think it's like like seven, right? Yeah, because you get seven to get the damage, so you had to hit them with every single shot. Now it's 10? Bruh. You can't even get the full stacks. You have to reload. That kills the Scorpio. That means you have to go through 2 magazines to get, bro. Oh, it's 8? 8 in the magazine. 8 in the magazine. Okay. But even then, you're not even getting the shock yet. You would have to reload. Dude, that's rough. That's rough. Dang. The score, especially for PvE builds when you're trying to get those buffs to let your buddies get the damage buff. Yo, that is rough for the Scorpio. RIP. That Scorpio just got. Holy crap. And for PvP too. And for PvP. So you can't even get in snare on PvP until 9 shots. Yo, you better not be using that in PvP after this change. Scorpio's trash. I'm sorry. You can get more out of something else with less. Because now you have to go through 2 magazines. Yo, I hope. Oh, dude, that's disgusting. All right, moving on. Catharsis. Cool. Yes. Yo. Catharsis meta incoming. Catharsis meta incoming. Catharsis meta. That's stupid. The catharsis is meta. Let's go. 1 minute silence for the Scorpio. Nah, fuck that. The catharsis just got a buff, dude. A freaking, come on. It went from 1% to 1.5. Yo, we just got a huge buff for the catharsis. Yo, screw the freaking Scorpio. Scorpio's in the trash. I already forgot about it. Yo, the catharsis? Yo, whip this sucker out. Holy crap. And it doesn't say not for PvP. This is an overall change. The catharsis is going to be meta. Oh, dude, that's crazy. Everyone's going to be using catharsis in PvP. Let's go. Let's go. Next up. Oh, those were all the changes for the balancing. Okay. So that was for the what else do we have? Ooh, I don't want to do that yet. Hold on. So for the balancing part, just really quick, if you are just now joining us, Hardwired got a really nice buff, but it won't affect PvP. But Hardwired is super strong in PvE now because they made it 5 seconds instead of 10. Let's see. Heartbreaker got a 30% weapon damage buff if you get your stacks up. Aces and eights will now apply to rifles. Negotiator's Dilemma went up 12% to 112. The Striker got a nerf. Umbra got a buff, but only to PvE. A whole bunch of set changes. Holy moly. Bighorn got a huge buff. Bighorn is huge. The St. Elmo's got a huge nerf. Eagle Bearer got a little buff. Chameleon got a little buff. Lady Death got a little buff. The Backfire got a huge buff. Chatterbox got a huge buff. Ouroboros, big nerf. Iron Lung, little nerf. Blue Screen got a little buff. Bullet King got a big buff. Ruthless got a little buff. All of those don't matter. Scorpio, huge nerf. That's bad. Catharsis, big buff. Okay. Moving on. Updated loot pool. Ooh, okay. And title update 22. A fresh batch of named weapons will be added to the loot pool. What? What? Hold on. Here's what you need to know. The original loot tables will remain the same, but now they will include additional opportunities for new items. While these items will have a higher drop rate, they are not guaranteed. It may require some, multiple attempts. The likelihood of these weapons dropping will increase with your difficulty. Okay. These new loot drop chances will be exclusive for level 40 and above. Duh. These changes will not apply to invaded missions. Don't care. Okay, so let's see here. Yo, we have targeted loot for freaking named items. Camp White Oak will now carry the Pyromaniac, the Mechanical Animal, and the Kingbreaker. We have selected targeted loot now. The Pentagon will now carry the new Reliable. The DARPA Research Labs will now carry the Lefty. The Roosevelt Island will now carry the White Death. And Manning National Zoo will carry the White Death. This is awesome. They haven't done this since Division 1. Coney Island will now have the Burnout and the Born Great, while Tidal Basin will have the Dare and Big Show. Coney Island Ballpark, Tabula Rasa, and the Carnage, while at the bank headquarters you can get the Cabaret, the Grown Great, and the Swap Chain. This is pretty cool. Capitol Hill will have the Safety Distance, Emmeline's Guard, and Cold Relations. Yo, Cold Relations. Remember the PP-19 was like the only SMG to get like a across-the-board big buff. So just remember the PP-19 might be something for us to look at. And the Cold Relations is Perfect Strained. So that's going to be very useful. The Viewpoint Museum, Calibre, and the Tsunami. Okay. DUA will have the Baker's Dozen and Stage Left. Yo, I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this patch notes. The Space Admin HQ will carry the Eckham's Long Stick, Designated Hitter, and Scalpel. Air and Space Museum will carry the Prophet. At Jefferson Plaza, we have the Invisible Hand, Glory Days, and Test Subject. Jefferson Trade Center will carry the Quiet Roar. Federal Emergency Bunker will have the Boomstick, Backup Boomstick, and the Mop. At American History Museum, we'll have the Surge and Artist Tool. At Potomac Event Center, we will have the Relic and Commando. And finally, the Lightning Rod will be at the Grand Washington Hotel. That's awesome. So basically every mission in the game in Stronghold will now carry its own targeted loot for named items, and these will never change. So if you're ever looking for any of those named items, boom shakalaka. No glass cannon change? No. No glass cannon change. Known issues. This will be known issues with the PTS. The Terrify icon will not appear. Enemy modifiers active on the first wave of NPC spawn during the Legacy Climax missions. Player modifiers bait and switch. Minor modifier keeps activating while equipped. New gear. We will have a new gear set. Materials are not received on them. We will have a new brand set. I haven't even talked about these yet. Dude, there is so much we have to talk about in this whole thing. This is a long one. Like, just bear with me. This is so much. These are all the known issues, so we don't care about the known issues, okay? But overall, for the targeted loot, that's a good change. Really good change. And then we talked about all of those nerfs and buffs. Whew. Okay, we are finally done with that set of patch notes. Let's refresh this. How many freaking sets of patch notes do we have? Okay, so we just went over the balancing for the gear and brand sets and exotics. We went over the balancing for the weapon and talents. Now, it is finally time for the new stuff, okay? So this is for the PTS. This is for the new update. And all of this we will be able to test tomorrow. We're going to be able to test all of this tomorrow. I'm gonna show you all of that. That's in here. This is all the new stuff, okay? So just so you know, new modifiers, new objectives, new manhunt, new brand set, new gear set, new exotic holster, new exotic FAL, new weapon talents, new gear talents, and a few more changes. And here, look at this, people. Look at this. Look at this. Read that. Read that. You see that? Do you see this? I'll give you a second to take the poo out of your pants because I'm pretty sure a lot of you just pooed your pants. You guys see this? You guys see this? Are you reading this before I read it? This is insane. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, you don't understand the scope of what's going on here. They have completely changed the fucking game. This game has changed, okay? We are now getting a fully automatic lightweight M4 and a fully automatic LVOAC. Shout out to the Div 1 OGs out there. I see you, Splinter. I see you, brother. A fully automatic Ravenous, a fully automatic M1A, a fully automatic MDR. All of these are fully automatic. Are you kidding me right now? Where's the M4? It's right here. Lightweight M4. Right there. It's right next to the LVOAC. This is big. I don't, like, if you guys are division, this is big. And that's at the bottom, okay? Let's talk about all the new stuff. I just wanted to spoil that really quick for you. All right, here is the last part of the patch notes. I am sorry that it is this long, but I'm just trying to get everyone on board and everyone on the same page, okay? Because it's starting tomorrow, and I'm going to be covering it, and I don't want everyone and their mom like, what's going on? What reality is this? Am I Alice? Yeah, the LVOAC's back, baby. Yes. The lightweight M4's back, baby. Yes. Ravenous, fully auto. Yes. We are talking a huge shift in the game. Like, come on. I gotta bring out the LVOAC and the lightweight M4. I have to. That's like all I strictly use in the Division 1. Like, I have to bring it out. Have to. All right, here we go. So the PTS starts tomorrow. Here are the patch notes. It will be 97 gigs if you have not downloaded the PTS before. The PTS is only for PC. The PTS is only for PC. Okay? The way to have access to the PTS, I hope you're listening. To get access to the PTS, you have to go to your Ubisoft account homepage, go to your games, and as long as you own the Division 2, right next to it will say the Division 2 PTS. It will only be there if the preload is available. And guess what? The preload is available right now. Okay? So you can go right now and preload this PTS. All of this stuff I'm talking about, everything will be in that PTS. And we haven't even talked about the new season stuff. We haven't even talked about the new exotics yet. We haven't even talked about the new gear yet. I can't even. This is a lot. They were quiet for so long, and it's because they were working on this. Like, well done. You got us. I'm about sick of them just not talking to us, though. I mean, just don't give us the cold shoulder. Just say, hey, we're working on some cool stuff. Like, I'm down. Anyways, PTS starts tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern. PTS will end 7 a.m. Eastern on Monday. Graybeard. Yo, shout out to the Gaming Brigade in chat. He's not crying. You're crying. Yeah. All right, here we go. Seasons 2.0. We will now have a seasonal journey. It is completely different from the seasonal structure that we have right now in the game. It is a completely different UI. It is a completely different system. Everything is completely different for the seasons. They already showed this, and a lot of people were like, what is this? It's a completely different system. It's a completely different game. We will now have what is called a seasonal journey. The new seasonal journey will introduce a new structured progression system with 7 sequential missions, each containing 8 objectives. So you will have a 7-tier system that you have to go through on this seasonal journey. Each of these 7-tier systems will have 8 individual objectives that you have to complete to get to the next system. So think of it as you're starting out at level 1 and you have to go all the way up to level 7. Okay? So you can access this new seasonal journey even at level 1. And that's their whole thing now, is that you don't have to be level 40 to do seasons. You don't have to be doing this and that to do seasons. You can just buy the game and immediately have the seasons. Okay? And hey, Leo, thank you for that super chat. Thank you, brother. Salute. I'm trying not to read chat while doing this, but I see you, brother. Thank you. Now, it says here that the entire seasonal journey will unlock at the start of each season. As you complete each mission and objective, you will earn various rewards, including XP, seasonal XP, and all of these different boosting items. So think of it like, hey, I completed this mission and then I get an XP boost. There you go. On top of that, you will also get modifiers as rewards as well. So completing some of these missions might give you a new modifier that you can use. And they did show this in the gameplay, and I'll add it as well, that the seasonal modifiers is a completely different part of your inventory now. So you will be able to change, the brick, the BRIC that's on your shoulder that has the little ring on it. You're going to be able to change that during this new season, okay? So you're going to be able to add modifiers, take away modifiers, all of that. You will be able to have 4 modifiers at a time. One will be a passive modifier that will be active throughout the entire season. And then the additional 3 modifiers, you will be able to unlock and add them to your character. This is huge. All right. And speaking of which, let's start talking about these seasonal modifiers, because this is a big, big change to the game. This will change everything in the game, excluding PvP. You will not be able to use this in PvP. You will be able to use the modifiers in the raid, yes. You will be able to use the modifiers in the incursion, yes. And you will be able to use the modifiers in the summit, countdown, and legendary content, yes. You will not be able to use modifiers in PvP. You will not be able to use modifiers in Descent. They strictly said those areas, no modifiers. But everywhere else, they kept stressing yes. Okay? So let's talk about these modifiers. The seasonal modifiers are central to each season's unique gameplay, spicing up the usual rules and mechanics of the game. There are 4 different types of modifiers, each playing a crucial role in shaping your experience. So like I said, you will have 4 different mod slots for your modifier, okay? Your modifier will be on your shoulder brick, that will be on your character. You will have 4 different spots to add different modifiers. You will have a global modifier, like I said, that is your passive modifier that will be there forever. You will have your active, passive, hostile. So those are your 4. So your global modifier, your active, your passive, and your hostile. So first up, we have our global modifiers. So set the overall theme of the season and are active at all times when the system is enabled, affecting the gameplay loop. In the first season, the theme is range. So this global modifier will be on everybody's characters at all times. Now, the first global modifier will be range. It will not be range every single season, just for this first one. And it says that the global modifier will be called breakpoint, and it will grant bonus damage based off of the range you are from that enemy. Next up, we have active modifiers. So the global modifier will not change. You can change the other modifiers. Active modifiers will function like ultimate abilities, giving a character a short boost of damage or burst of power. Players can choose from a selection of active modifiers. Remember, they said it's around 20 modifiers that we'll be able to choose from. So you'll have 20 different options, and then you can just choose whatever modifiers work for you. Now it says here for the first season, they can manipulate the range zones for the global modifier. So this active modifier will help alter your global modifier. Next up, we have passive modifiers. Now this will work in conjunction with the global modifier, adding more bonuses. So players can equip up to 3 passive modifiers simultaneously. In the first season, these modifiers will provide additional benefits based on the range for the global modifier. So you can tweak the range with the active modifier and then boost your damage with the passive modifier. And then finally, we have hostile modifiers. So you thought we were the only ones with modifiers. Oh no, the hostiles have modifiers too. So it says here that these represent how the enemies adapt to your new abilities. As players progress through the season, enemies will gradually gain new abilities linked to specific enemy types, forcing you to use global passive and active modifiers strategically to counter them. The modifier system can be disabled at any time and is mutually exclusive with global events, allowing players to control how they engage with the seasonal challenges. I know that was a lot to talk about. I understand this was a lot of information, okay? But essentially, I'm going to have to put this on during the live stream tomorrow and just show you. It's a lot of information. I fully understand. But this is a completely different system, completely new to the game, and they are just throwing it all at us like a fire hose. So you're just going to have to, you're just going to have to sit there and just try to take in all the information as it's coming at you. So next up, we have the priority objectives. So this will be during the seasons. The priority objectives system will offer a variety of short-term objectives, enhancing the way players can farm for items and resources within the game. These objectives will become available upon reaching level 30. Players can choose from 3 objectives, selecting one of them based on the limited information such as duration, reward category, and mission type. Once a selection is made, you're locked in. All the full details of the objective and everything, all the rewards will be revealed, and then you take it on. So basically what you get, you get 3 different objectives you can choose from. You're just messing around, right? Nothing crazy. Like, hey, you could do a mission in the subway, you could do a mission in DUA, you could do a mission, in New York. You might get a new modifier in New York. You might get an XP boost over there in the subway, or you might get a new mod, somewhere else. This is huge because then you get to focus in on what you want to farm for, and the reward once you open it up of what you're going to get. So then you're able to just knock that out, and then you can go back and take on the other priority objectives. So this is really cool. It's like a little switch on projects. It's not bad. I'm really enjoying this. Now next it says that if none of the objectives are appealing to you, the system allows you to re-roll the objectives. So I don't like the subway. I don't like DUA. I don't like New York. And then you re-roll it, and then all of a sudden it's like Capitol Hill, maybe it's downtown East, or maybe it's over there in Coney Island. I mean, this is pretty cool. It gets to hone in on different parts, and then you can keep rolling it until you find like the modifiers that you like. Because remember, it says here, there is no limit to the number of objectives that you complete. And the rewards include XP boosts, seasonal XP boosts, items, rewards, and modifiers. This is how you unlock those modifiers. Remember that they said there's around 20 modifiers total. You have to unlock them before you get them, before you can use them. You can't just log into the game and have 4 modifiers on your shoulder and be like, oh, hey, look, I'm a god. You can't. you're going to get the 1 modifier, like everyone, and then you have to unlock all of these other modifiers. So that's where this whole farming system comes into play. This is huge. Huge. Next, we have Manhunt Scouts. So the Manhunt Scouts is their revision, their rework of the Manhunt system. Completely different from what we knew about for Manhunts. So think of this like, you remember Division 1 at the base of ops? We had the weekly and daily HVTs. You remember those? Where you would give them some intel, they would give you a location for an HVT, and then you would go take them out. This is essentially what that is, but they're throwing it into the season. So it says here, Manhunt Scouts is a new system that drives the game's narrative by requiring players to complete weekly activities that reward them with equipment, XP, materials, and most importantly, new collectibles. So the collectibles are not going to be hidden behind Descent anymore. So no more waiting for me to do Descent every week to get your new comms. All right. So now you're going to get your new collectibles just by doing these weekly Manhunt Scouts. Now it says each week players can tackle a scout, which consists of 3 different activities. These activities will vary, and players can solve a small riddle to complete each one. So it might say, like, you know, if it's in Chinatown, it might give you like a hint towards Chinatown. If it's in downtown West, it might give you a hint at like West Side or something like that. It's going to give you like a riddle for you to figure out how to complete. Pretty cool. Now it says that the activities should be completed in order, and once all 3 are finished, the player will receive the scout reward. Once all activities in a scout are completed, players will receive a bigger reward, including a unique collectible. So you have to complete all of the activities for that scout, and then you get your new collectible. Okay? Now it says, however, new scouts cannot be accessed until the current one is completed. Do them in order. Got it. And then it says, by the end of the season, collecting all of the scouts will unlock the Manhunt Climax mission. After finishing, or hold on, it says, and finishing that unlocks the Master Climax mission. So complete all the scouts, you get all the collectibles, it unlocks the Manhunt Climax. Complete that, and then you can do it again on Mastery level. Okay. All right, all right. Not bad, not bad. Okay, now we're getting into the new gear, new weapons, new named weapons, new weapon talents, new exotics. All right, this is going to be big. Oh, while I'm going to get something to drink. I want you to read this. I want to spoil this for you. So read that really quick. I'm going to get something to drink, and then we're going to finish up with these patch notes. But read this really quick. This is going to upset a lot of you, and I don't want to be here when you start throwing stones. All right. Okay. Just so you know, that's a rework to Sledgehammer, and that will not apply to your teammates anymore. Just so you know. So no more applying Sledge. Yeah, no more of that. Okay, let's go back up to the new stuff. Sorry about that. I had to get something to drink. These patch notes are killing me. I'm going to have no voice by the end of this. Okay. So, starting with the new brand set. The new brand set. Now, this one is called, what is this? Legatus? Legatus? SPA? So, the Legatus brand set, one piece will give you swap speed. Okay. Two piece will give you optimal range. And then the three piece will give you weapon damage of 15%. Now, the new named variant, ooh, perfect versatile. Perfect versatile, baby. So now we have perfect versatile, and it's just going to amplify your damage even further, and this will be for PvP as well. And the set gives you swap speed. Yo, that's really smart, because the swap speed would go hand in hand with the perfect versatile. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Okay. Now, it says we'll have a named mask, the Visionario, and the perfect attribute will give us optimal range. Gross. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. So we have a named mask that's just going to be cabbage. Okay, moving on. We have a new gear set. The new gear set is called Virtuoso. Now, the Virtuoso two-piece will give us weapon handling and magazine size. Okay. The three-piece will give us weapon damage, just full-on weapon damage. And then the four-piece will give us the talent Symphony. So Symphony, oh, okay, hold on, let's read this. So Symphony, killing an enemy further than 30 meters, will provide you 30% weapon damage to shotguns, SMGs, and pistols, 15% weapon damage to ARs, LMGs, and 25% bonus armor. Holy crap. That's a lot. Okay. Let's see here. Killing an enemy within 30 meters will give you 30% weapon damage to marksman rifles and rifles, 15% weapon damage to ARs and LMGs, and 30% headshot. Yo, that's crazy. And then it says killing enemies from both ranges will build up the stacks. At 4 stacks, all the bonuses are doubled. Dang. 30 meters and then within 30 meters. Yeah, but getting a kill further than 30 meters and then bouncing back and getting one really up close, doing that 4 times in a row, that doesn't really sound logical. But the one-piece bonuses sound really good, but it's only on kill. So just remember, that's only on kill. Interesting, though. You could do like a determined sniper and then do like the bighorn. Yeah, that would be dirty. All right, the chest piece talent will double the weapon damage. Ooh. And the backpack talent will decrease the number of stacks to 3. But still, the 3 stacks, that's a lot. Because the stacks is only by killing enemies from both ranges. Yeah, that's not... That would be a lot. You would have to find 3 enemies further than 30 meters. And then you would have to find 3 enemies within 30 meters. I don't know. It sounds cool on paper, but I just don't see that actually happening. Here is the brand new exotic. We have a new exotic holster. So the new exotic holster is called the Centurion's Scabbard. That's pretty cool. Isn't that the little like beetle thing from like the Mummy, like old times? Let's see here. The talent is called Counter. Swapping your weapon will give you the following. Ooh. 1 by 1 in order. So the more you swap weapons, hold on. So you swap your weapon once, you get rate of fire and weapon damage. Yo, that's super strong. You swap your weapon again, you get magazine size and reload speed. The bonuses remain active for 8 seconds or until next weapon swap. Ooh. Swapping to your sidearm will not trigger the next bonus. Interesting. Scabbard's part of a sword. Okay, my bad. I was thinking of something different. I'm sorry. My brain is mush. I am so sorry. We're like 4 hours into the stream, and I'm an hour and a half into these patch notes. So swapping your weapon twice will give you magazine size. That's crazy. Swapping twice. So, oh, dude, that's crazy. 50% mag size. What if you did that with the Scorpio? That might work with the Scorpio, right? Interesting. I don't know. I'm liking this exotic holster. I think this is very, very strong overall. This is a great relief because the few seasons past we've had a lot of crappy exotics, so that's really good. Next up, we have an exotic FAL. We're going to have a brand new exotic AR. Okay? So the brand new exotic AR is a new exotic FAL called the Strega. And the talent is called Unnerve. Killing and an enemy will apply a mark. Killing an enemy, that's a typo, will apply a mark on every enemy within 20 meters. Multiple marks can be applied on the same enemy. You deal 15% amplified damage to marked enemies. Yo, this is strong. This is hella strong. On an FAL? Dude, okay. I'm really liking this. Dude, this FAL is legit. Strega means witch. Nice. Per mark. This is hella strong. Yo, this is crazy. I'm loving it. I am loving this. I like that a lot. And then it shows the mods. I mean, not bad. Okay. Not bad at all. Hey, that's a big W. That's a big W. I like this a lot. Both of these exotics, well done. Okay. That's good. Good. I'm happy that we're actually going to have exotics worth using. Good. Next up, we have named weapons and named weapon talents. First, we have a new weapon talent called Precision Strike. Killing enemies further than 20 meters will build up a stack. Each of these stacks will give you amplified damage. Holy shnikes. Holy shnikes. That's crazy. All of this will be available on the PTS tomorrow. This is all for the next season. That's next month, October. This is crazy. That's crazy. Father. Dude, there's a lot of typos. There's a lot of typos, okay? And then we have precision, or perfect precision. Killing enemies further than 20 meters will give you a stack. Max stacks at 2. 35% amplified damage. Holy crap. 35% amplified damage. I mean, this is basically like a sniper's delight, right? Is that what we're getting at here? This is crazy. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Whew. Let's see here. Not bad. Okay. Keep it going. To the reworks. The rework for Sledgehammer. So basically what's going to happen is you're dealing more damage when a grenade applied on a marked target, right? Just like normal. But now it's only from the agent that applies the mark. So it will only work for you that throws the grenade, not your teammates. That's a big change, and that's why I highlighted that earlier. Next up, we have a Mosquito Song exotic pistol. Hitting an enemy will apply a stack. At 5 stacks. At 5 stacks. Oh, instead of 10. At 5 stacks, each stack will take 40% more damage to armor. This is completely different. What? Okay, so the Mosquito Song, this is the exotic pistol. Hitting an enemy applies a stack. Stacks are shared between players. At 5 stacks, the enemy will forcefully target you, the last player to apply a stack for 5 seconds and take 40% more damage to armor from all sources. All sources. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we might have to use the Mosquito Song now. All right, here's the big part, people. Here's the big part. They are doing a huge change. This is a huge change. If you are just now joining me and you did not see this earlier, this is a huge change. All right, read those big bold letters. This is a huge change. I'm not fluffing this up. I'm not pumping this up. This is legit a very big change. So they are changing rifles and snipers to fully automatic. Fully automatic. So we have a fully automatic ACR, a fully automatic UIC-15, a fully automatic Ravenous, fully automatic M1A. Look at this. A fully automatic lightweight M4. LVOAC, MDR, Resolute MK47, the MK17, the SIG 716, and the USC. All of these are going to be fully automatic. Huge. And if you're a Div 1 fan, the lightweight M4 and the LVOAC, fully automatic, big W. This is huge. Like, if you haven't hit the thumbs up and supported yet, that right there would earn it. That's huge. Not only that, but the snipers. You get a G28, the MK20, and the SVD will all be fully automatic. So now your SVDs will be fully automatic. Okay? So that's going to be really big. Really, really big. And that's the end of the patch notes. Okay? I understand that that was very, very long. The way to get to these patch notes is their Trello board. Under patches and updates, there will be 3 categories. We have the balancing that we went over for the brand sets, exotics, and all those balancing changes. We went over all the balancing changes for the weapons and talents. And we just went over all of the new stuff that's coming out tomorrow. There is so much new stuff. This is ridiculous. So I understand if you're going to have to rewind and keep referencing this back and forth. It's a lot. I get it. But those were your patch notes. Not bad, right?